Peri, and welcome to Paper Crafting with Tammi. Thank you so much for stopping by my channel today. It is awesome to see you here. I have a great project for us today that we're going to start on in just a minute. If you haven't done it yet, take a minute and hit that big red subscribe button so you see what else I've got for you next time, and let's get started. Today I'm going to be walking you through a layout that I'm going to create using this Die Cuts with a View Peri and Peach paper stack. Okay, so this paper stack has some really beautiful pinks and lavenders, a little bit of black accent, and then it's got some rose gold foil accents throughout. So anytime I get a paper stack like this, I take it apart and figure out what pages I'm going to use on different layouts. So after doing that, the palette that I chose for this layout is this metallic piece here, this really fun little floral print, this damask print that's pink and white, and then there's this white background paper and it's got black and white kind of dots all over it. There's also the reverse side of this one that I really think matches well, and it's white with just the pink kind of design on it. So once I made that decision, I decided that black for my background was going to look really nice. So that's going to be the palette that we're working with today. So let's go ahead and get started. If you've joined me before, you know that I like to lay my layouts out ahead of time using my templates. So I've been obsessed lately with this vintage template, and I saw a layout recently where somebody used it all the way across their page basically, and I really loved that. I'm actually going to be doing something a little bit different today, but I am going to use this a la carte vintage, and I want to put that over on the side. The next thing I always want to consider is what I'm going to do with my photos. So with this here, I know I have plenty of room to do a nice strip of photos here, and I really like to include as many photos as I can on a layout, so that gives me room for 3 4x6s right off the bat. I'm going to use this Cascade Trails to go ahead and close my seam there. That way there's not any space in between the vintage and the photos, and I won't need to back each individual photo because that edge will be sealed. On this other side, I'm going to go ahead and pull in this lacy trims. I think with those little flowers that are on one of those pages, it's got a real kind of feminine, soft look, and I think the lacy trims will go really well with that. And I want to make sure that I carry some elements across my layout. So I'm going to go ahead and put the other Cascade Trails on this side. And I need to fit several photos in here. So I know that I can do a little bit of overlapping here. I think I will do like a 3, that's a 3.5 by 4.5. And so is this. Let me see if I can get a couple more to fit in here. Yeah. Okay, so these are 3 by 4s. And I can definitely get those in. So I could do something like that. And just because I lay it out a certain way doesn't mean I'm not going to change it as I go, but that gives me a basic idea. I really love this banner that's in the Enchanted set. This is Enchanted 7. And I thought I could use it for a title up here. So then I'm down to really, what do I want to do to embellish it? So this vintage block is really big. I think it would be a great spot to add a little journaling space on that, layered on that vintage. And then I also have the opportunity to maybe throw a couple of flowers in here. So I pulled this one out of my Tiny Sweetheart set. And then I absolutely love, this is actually a club template. It's called She Loves Me. It's just a little one that came in one of our club kits. So I'm probably gonna do a little bit of layering with something like that. And I could even throw a little flower like up on the corner of this This is a template called Bonnie, again, out of one of the club sets. So that gives me a basic idea of how I'm gonna lay this out. My next thing will be making some paper choices and figuring out exactly how I'm going to tackle this. And then deciding if I want to pull in any stamps and die cuts into this layout to embellish and dress it up just a little bit. So let's see what's next. So just like when I laid it out, I'm going to go ahead and start with that vintage. And I decided to go ahead and use that really beautiful printed paper with the little flowers on it. And I'm going to make one large photo mat here with this great dotted paper. I think this will be a really good background to layer photos on. So we're gonna go ahead and use those two. And then I decided I wanted one strip, and I didn't lay this out when I planned it, but I do wanna go ahead and close that edge with a strip. And then here's that paper with the rose gold foil on it. And so I just decided to use this little patterned paper to create this cascade trails. I like the shininess of it, and I just think that that is a nice little pop on the page. So there's its little friend. We're gonna go ahead and use that same paper for it over here. And I definitely wanna carry this paper across the layout. It is kind of bold, I guess you would say. It's a little bit busy. So you don't wanna just have that one pop of it. I wanna make sure I have it represented in more than one place. So I'm going to use that for that lacy trims. Okay. And then I made this enchanted border this enchanted 7 template into my title. And I'll show you the stamps that I used for that in just a moment. I found a great little journaling block. This was actually part of the paper stack, and I was able to just cut that out of one of the sheets. So I didn't have to create that at all. That was just a great fit. And then I went ahead and made the photo mats for this side out of this same paper here. Let's go ahead and get those layered on. And I don't use a black background a lot, but I thought, oh my goodness, for this, it was just perfect. And I really love how all of these colors came together on here. I can't wait to see the photos that I end up choosing to put on here. I ended up deciding to cut the flower. I had originally laid out the Sweetheart template, but I ended up deciding that I wanted to use this Blossom template. I just liked that style of flower a little bit better for this layout. And then I had a punch that I could use. I had some copper metallic paper, and I just punched a little flower out to layer on there. Then I think I'll probably add a little black center or a button or something here. But I'm happy with how that's coming together. I had a little stamp and die set that I used to create this little flower. I'm just gonna layer that up at the corner of my journaling box. And then when I pulled this flower out of Blossom, I found this butterfly, and I haven't used it in a while, and I thought, oh my goodness, this butterfly will allow me to carry that same pattern across the page. And look at how sweet it is, just kind of layered there with that lacy trims and right on top of that photo mat just nested there. So I'm really excited about how that came together. So this is the stamp set that I used to create my title here. It just says Happy Times. So this was a stamp of the month set from Close to My Heart. It's called Love So Sweet. So that was the one I used there. And then I pulled this little flower here out of a Stampin' Thin Cut set from Close to My Heart called Chelsea Gardens. This was one that came out a while ago. I really fell in love with this set. I've used it for lots of things, but in this case, I just popped that little flower there. And it may be that I decide to add another touch of this copper. I was thinking this little butterfly here would look darling somewhere on this side to carry that copper element across. But you know, you just keep building and embellishing and adding on. So at this point, I've already inked everything. with just Tim Holtz Distress ink. I used black on this because I thought it fit this layout the best. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere everything down off camera. I'll do a little bit of popping up. I think in this case I'll pop up this Happy Times. I'll probably pop up this butterfly. I'll do a little bit of popping up with these flowers and a little popping up with that flower. But otherwise, this layout is done and ready to go. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching me create today, and I hope it inspired you to grab out one of those paper stacks that I know you have on your shelf, tear it apart, and get busy creating. If you want to see more of what I've got in the future, don't forget to hit that big red subscribe button, and I will talk to you guys soon. Have a great day. Bye-bye.